Hello, and welcome back to Got the Morbs with your friends, Aaron,
Beth,
and Ken.
Today we've got a doozy. We're going to move away from true crime for a minute and talk about something spooky. So not only are we going to blow your minds, but we are going to blow Ken's mind, right?
I'm afraid we're going to tell him these things and he's going to be like, so?
No, I'm very interested. For those who might not be, well, I'm hoping you listened to the intro episode, but we had briefly touched on the fact that apparently this is all news to me, and we've refrained from talking about it outside of this totally, so I'm going in fresh. Our childhood home, from which I lived until we were 6, like you said, or...
We were 6.
Oh, you guys were 6?
What?
You said...
Who was 6?
I was 12. I was 12.
You
so
said
that means
from which
that
we were 6.
For which, I meant me. Whatever. I'm like, we're all like 3 years apart, I think,
yeah.
roughly. So if I'm 6
Yeah,
years-ish, so I was out of that house by 6 or 7 or whatever. So all that I remember are just brief glimpses of things and like the layout of the house. And I do have one thing, once you guys had mentioned this haunted house stuff, I like, for the couple weeks since we recorded, I was thinking, I'm like, what am I missing? Is there something I'm like repressing? And I do have maybe a vague maybe of something, and I'll mention it.
Why don't you start with what you remember and we can confirm or deny?
Yeah, so supposedly, and they have sheets of notes. These two women have sheets of notes.
Well, I spent a lot of time there just because Beth and I have been best friends for so long, and we had sleepovers and just all the family parties and everything. But also it just had this special place in my heart, even though it was not my house.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm kind of obsessed with it.
Mm-hmm.
So even though I'm not a part of your family in that sense, I still have stories and memories of it. But why don't you start with what you have?
All right. So from what I remember, it was a 3-story house. Was there an attic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I do vaguely remember an attic. Did it have a pull down?
No.
No?
Your parents' bedroom
There was
the
a
attic.
door
Okay.
and stairs that went up.
Okay. I remember anything. I don't want to like describe the house in detail. Nobody cares about that. But just the points that I remember a bay window on the first floor.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Dining room.
I remember the kitchen had like a weird split door.
Yes, French
Those
doors.
Cowboy doors.
No, like the bottom
Yeah,
swung out
yeah,
and the
there's-
top was separate.
Or what was
Almost
that
like a
called? Not
refrigerator.
French door. What was that called? I don't know.
Cowboy door.
But-
Well, that's like a saloon door. I don't like a.
I remember when we got those, well, I don't know if you did, but Amy and I at least, I don't know about you and probably not Joe, but we would play drive-through with those. We'd like open up the top one and be like, hello, what can I get for you today?
I think you just unlocked something maybe because now I'm vaguely remembering that. I remember the basement being unfinished and it scared me.
Yes.
Yep.
I do remember that, and I never really went down there unless I had to. What's pinging with me the most when I think about this is the upstairs.
Mhm.
And I know you had mentioned the last one that there was a single room that seemed to have a lot of this activity. So I think I know which room it was, or at least I think so.
What's your guess?
So what I remember is you go up
Wait,
this.
guess it.
Was it our parents' room?
We're not going to confirm or deny.
I
You
believe
think the attic?
if this is going up the stairs, you turn right.
Mhm.
The first room on the right, was that our parents' room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. Well, it went up to the attic.
Yes. I think that's what I'm remembering. Here's what I remember. Here's the one spooky thing I think I remember. Something about a rocking chair. Am I remembering something right?
Is this a story that you heard or one that
This
you...
is all I got. I was thinking about this room and something jutted out to me about this room and remembering someone telling me something about a rocking chair that scared me.
So there is a rocking chair story, but I think you have the wrong spot.
Okay. But I was 6, and even younger, depending on when the story was. So, but I also remember we had a weird door out into the backyard from the second floor. Did it go out into a balcony or was there just nothing there?
I don't think there was anything
It was
there.
a very small one, right?
Or if it was...
I remember that being really weird.
We were never allowed out there. It was like, do not go out this door.
And
So
I
I don't think I ever went out.
I do remember I suffered from some pretty wicked night terrors there.
Mm.
And I don't remember them at the time, but I remember, when you turned right down the hallway, was there a door at the very end?
2. Like there was a bedroom at each side of the end of the hallway.
I feel like I remember banging on some of these doors during my tantrums, or at least hearing the story of me doing it.
I can confirm that.
You don't remember that you guys had the best playroom ever?
I remember the playroom was off of like the dining room, like the back of the house.
Yes.
I
I
don't
can still
remember
picture the
much about it.
curtains. They had ivy print on them.
Yep.
That was the coolest playroom because it had doors to keep the adults out. So you
Yeah.
kids could go in there and play, have your own little secret
Yeah, I
playroom.
remember those.
with those built-in shelves,
Mhm.
and that's where you had those cool toy boxes, the
Mhm.
strawberry and the elephant.
Yep. And then we put our computer there when we got one in the 90s. Yep. And that had a door that went out to the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than some vague layout details, I don't remember much. But even Beth just saying that earlier about, hey, we used to play drive-through at the kitchen door. I vaguely remember that now. That rung something within me. So I'm curious to see what spooky stories you guys have in regards to this house, the Granger House.
So why don't you start off, Beth, since you've been doing some research about the history of the house?
I have been, and it's probably way more than anyone wants to know. I tried to leave most of the stuff out, but so we are in 1854.
Ooh.
Wow.
German farmers settled in the area of Granger and Turney Roads. They founded St. John Lutheran Church, which is at the corner of Granger and Turney Road.
Wow.
Some of these German farmers were relatives of ours. The Bicker and Mylander families were part of that group. And the Wolf family, who we'll also be talking about, came from Pennsylvania, but they were also German immigrants. So this just reinforces the fact that we are like completely German on our mom's side. The land that the current house stands on was originally the Wolf family farm. At the time, the place was called Newburgh Township.
Instead of Garfield Heights?
Yeah, so
was?
Newburgh Township was huge, I guess, because it says that it included modern-day Garfield Heights, Brooklyn Heights, Cuyahoga Heights, Newburgh Heights, Shaker Heights, Cleveland Heights, and parts of Cleveland.
Wow.
So that was a whole, like, settlement. They called it a settlement of Newburgh Township. In 1907, a smaller area became known as the village of South Newburgh. Then it was renamed Garfield Heights in 1919.
Which is where we all grew up.
Yeah, 1930, it was officially incorporated as a city, and several streets are named after family members
Yours?
in Garfield Heights. Yeah,
Oh, really?
there's a Wolf Avenue, a Boning Drive. Boning is
Oh, we used to
gross. Like boning.
I used to work for the city, and we always used to make that joke. I didn't know it was a family boning.
ancestors?
Yeah, it's
I did not know that. Who is that?
I don't know. Cousins and cousins of cousins.
Some boning cousins.
Something. Yeah, boning each other. All right, so
That's staying in.
Your ancestors are going to get you for that.
Uh-oh. So in the 1920 census, I found who lived there on the Granger Road farm. And I'm doing this because this could be any of these people doing this stuff. So Julia Mylander Wolf was head of household at 62. So her husband died 10 years earlier. So she was like the head of household.
Matriarch?
Yeah. And she had 3 daughters. First one was Dora. She was a dressmaker. She never married. Then there was Julia. She was a stenographer. She eventually married Frederick Bicker. And then there was Emma Bicker, the 3rd daughter, who was married to Henry Bicker. So it got a little confusing
I was gonna
because
say.
these sisters married these brothers, and then like everybody is named Ernst. And like it's just
Ernst. No one's named Ernst anymore.
it's just
Nobody.
wild.
Nobody's named Ernst.
So yeah, her family was her husband Henry. He was a farmer. And then they had 3 kids at the time, Paul, Edward, and Robert.
Wait, whose kids are these?
So
Ernst?
Emma and Henry Bicker
The youngest
were our
daughter.
great-grandparents.
The youngest daughter, right?
Yes. No,
Okay.
she was
No.
the oldest daughter, actually.
Oldest. The one that you said never married.
No. That's Dora.
Oh, I'm confused.
The Explorer.
Dora was 30 in
Dora the
1920.
Explorer.
Julia was 28 and Emma was 33.
And your relative is who?
All of them are our relatives.
Well,
but
yeah.
Emma and Henry were our great-grandparents.
Okay.
So then Paul, Edward, and Robert, those are our great-uncles. They were small children at the time. And then a mysterious woman named Violet Bauer is listed as a servant, 21 years old.
Violet.
Violet Bauer.
Interestingly, though, the 1910 census, so 10 years earlier, lists her as Violet Bauer, spelled a different way, Bower, 10 years old, adopted daughter.
What?
So I was like, wait, what? They adopted this girl, and then they were like, here, you're going to sweep the floors.
What?
But then I looked a little bit into her. I won't go too far into it, but Ancestry.com lists her parents as August Bowers with an S and Julia Mylander, which was our great-great-grandmother's maiden name.
I am so confused.
I know. So I'm like, what, does she have an illegitimate child? And they said, this is our servant or something? I don't know. But anyway, that was a rabbit hole I went down while I was
Right.
doing this research. Okay, so 1922 is when the house was built. Henry and Emma Bicker built the house. They're our great-grandparents. Paul, Edward, and Robert are great-uncles. We never knew any of them. Paul died At 14, of rheumatic fever. Edward and Robert both moved to Arkansas at some point for some reason. Then our great aunt Alma, she was born in 1921, so she was there when the house was built.
This is getting recent.
Yeah. And Mildred, our grandmother, was born in 1923, so the year after the house was built.
And they were born in the house?
Our grandma was born in the house. Yeah, she was born in the kitchen.
Oh, cool.
Wow. Threw her right out that top door, and
Yeah.
here she is.
So
Can I help you? One little girl.
One Mildred, please.
Mildred.
those doors we got in the 90s. They
Okay.
weren't originally there. So yeah, interestingly, so there's 3 houses in a row. Ours is in the middle, and then there was one on the left and one on the right. So the one on the left, when you're facing it, was built in 1921, 1922, the middle one, and 1923, the other side.
Is that
Just
your
interesting.
neighbor, Debbie, that we knew?
Yeah.
So Debbie
Debbie.
lived in a house where previously Esther Green, Nee Bicker, had lived.
Nee.
She was, I think she was our grandma's cousin,
So it was
based on
just
what I could
a
see.
plot of land where family members all live.
I guess, yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's
Um,
common back then.
Yeah, not sure who lived there originally, but I know she did when I was.
This makes it more
little.
interesting when I bring up Debbie later.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I bothered putting.
Debbie's involved?
No, Debbie's involved.
And then the other house was where our neighbors Glenn and Doris Bicker lived when we were growing up, and Glenn was my grandma's cousin. I was able to confirm
Whoa.
that.
So there was Bickers there, living there still when you were there?
Yeah.
Bicker, Bicker, Bicker,
I remember.
Wow.
I remember Glenn.
all in a
Doris.
row.
What?
Bicker, Bicker, Bicker.
What does that mean?
All in a row. I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
She's saying
It's
it
like
like
some nursery rhyme. All in a row.
So yeah, births and deaths.
All right, let's get into it.
Grandma was born in the kitchen. I put that here.
One
But
Mildred, please.
I also put another story that I remember, which is not a scary story, but it's kind of interesting. So soon after our grandma was born, she was a baby, and our great grandma went downstairs to fix her a bottle in the middle of the night or something, and found someone in the house trying to steal the church offerings.
What?
Why,
And she ran him off.
What?
why were the church offerings in our house?
Because that was one of the families that founded the church.
Oh.
And so they, at that time, I guess, kept all the offerings at their house.
Whoa. It was just like some neighborhood dude?
I guess.
Whoa.
She's like, gonna make Mildred a bottle. What? What are you doing here?
hands off the church offerings, bucko.
Yep.
I bet that's what happened.
It's probably, yeah.
And then she pulled a rifle. No, I don't
Oh
know.
my.
I don't know how she got rid of him. I don't remember. But I do remember that
Shoo,
story.
shoo.
Yeah.
She died in the house, but I am not sure where.
Who?
Our great-grandmother died in
Emma.
the house. But I'm not sure where. Our great-grandfather, Henry, died in the bedroom at the end of the hall to the right that we were talking about in the upstairs. And great-uncle Paul died in the bedroom at the top of the stairs. And
What?
their funerals were held in the house, which I thought was interesting. I mean,
Very
I know they did that back
I
then, but
didn't know.
I just never thought about it.
You didn't know so many people died in the
I didn't
house?
know there was so many people croaking there.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Because I think I was in that room. That was my bedroom
What?
for
Yeah.
that one straight up.
You
the
remember
stairs.
one
I
straight
remember, yeah.
up? Okay, because you only mentioned
I
going to the
remember
right.
most. I remember the one straight up. It's like the left-hand side of the hallway. I remember
Mhm.
more because I think I was in those two rooms.
So on the right hand was
I don't really remember the,
the
right
door
hand
to
much.
the attic and the bathroom.
Mhm.
The bathroom is where we got in trouble when we were like 12 because I brought over a Ouija board and a candle and matches. And somehow your mom knew that we had a candle lit upstairs and came up and yelled at us. And I got in trouble for bringing it over.
Oh.
Yeah. So that is 3 recorded deaths in
And
the
that-
house.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean that'll happen when you have a house in a family for
Well, of course.
generations.
But it's
Yeah.
just good to know.
And now I would really appreciate living in a house where people died. I'd be like, that's so cool. I'd be like, oh
I
my
just-
God, they died here. That's
It's still, it blows my mind that your mom wanted to leave a house that was in her family since 1922.
yeah, I don't really get it.
It was from 1922 till you moved out in 1994. And
Yep.
oh, I love that
and it's
house.
gone to shit
I
since.
just love it. I know I drove past it the other day and it was all dark and just like dumpy looking and I was
Yeah.
sad. But I did notice driving by that the big bay window is still there on the side. It had that awesome like window seat.
Yeah,
There's
that's I
pictures of you
remember
guys
that.
laying on it
Yeah. I
with
remember that.
blankets.
That's still there in the most recent listing that I found.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put that in the show notes.
Okay.
Okay, so now I am on to the spooky shit.
All right.
Bring it on.
Buckle up. 2 pairs of underwear, Ken.
2 pairs of underwear. Hang on.
The bedroom at the end of the hall to the right.
Which is where Uncle Paul died.
No. which is where our great-grandfather Henry died.
Yes, Henry.
Henry Herman. I think his middle name was Herman.
Henry.
Henry Herman Bicker. Sorry if that wasn't your middle name. I know it was HH. I have his copy of Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Why? Where did it come from?
I don't know. But it has his name in it, and it's super old.
Wow.
All right. So anyways, so he died in there. And interesting, I guess I'll say this one first. As a kid, when my mom was in that room, this is her description. She saw a kind of swirly female figure in the doorway of that room.
I remember this telling that she was sitting on her bed, reading a book, I think, or writing in a notebook or something. She looked up and she thought it was your Aunt Sue, her sister, because she saw a female figure and then realized it was swirly and white.
Yeah. I don't remember Aunt Sue being swirly.
She wasn't
white,
swirly.
though.
Yeah, she was white. So another story about that room, though, is it has to do with me. So I was very sick when I was a baby. I had like a really high fever, and I was my parents' first kid, so they thought I was dying. And so my mom was all upset, like in my room with the crib. And she said she saw an apparition of our great-grandfather standing over the crib, like watching over me.
She knew it was him. She recognized him.
Yeah. He was dead by the time she was born, but there were pictures.
Henry Herbert?
Henry Herbert?
Did you say his name?
Henry Herman?
Herman? Oh, sorry.
Henry Herber.
Sorry, Henry. No, I don't want him haunting me. I
then
better get his name right.
She wouldn't be scared because she would think he was protecting you, I would hope.
Well, yeah.
And then you recovered, and here you are.
I know.
Thanks, Herbert.
He brought me back from the brink of death.
Thank you, Herber.
And now we're going to talk a little bit about the bedroom at the top of the stairs. Take it away, Aaron.
This is the room. This is the room where everything happened.
Is it that first one on the right?
It is no. You
Which
go
one?
straight up the steps into the
Okay,
bedroom.
yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
That's on the left, then, technically.
I'm an idiot. You're right.
So,
Depends on what time or which way you're coming down the hallway.
Yeah.
yes.
That's what
So,
that's totally my
As
mistake.
kids, you guys would change bedrooms every once in a while.
Yeah.
So at some point, you all had the room at the top of the stairs.
Yeah, I remember
as your
being in that
bedroom.
room and then the other one on the same side further down.
Okay. When you and your brother Joe shared a room, and it
Mhm.
was that room at the top of the stairs, you guys could never sleep, and you would be up crying. And your sister Amy would bring a mattress in there and sleep on the floor.
I do remember that.
And that was the only way that you guys could fall asleep, is if she was in there. When you changed rooms, you never had issues sleeping. It was only when you were in that room.
I remember pushing beds together in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because we were, this is crazy that I'm remembering this right now. I remember the bed frame. The bed frame was like gold and it had like balls and
Yes.
you know what I mean?
You had that.
Holy crap, I'm remembering this. And we used to push them together to make like a big bed where we would like sleep, like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Just you and Joe, or what?
I don't remember. I thought Amy might have been
In there too.
because now
Okay.
this is crazy. I remember that. I remember. I don't specifically remember like crying and not sleeping, but I remember.
This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Later on, when it was just you in that bedroom, you would wake up in the middle of the night crying and screaming, running up and down the halls and banging on everyone's doors. Your parents took you to the doctor and they diagnosed you with night terrors. When you moved out of that room, you never had night terrors again. It was only when you were in the bedroom at the top of the stairs.
And it would happen so often that Mom and Dad had to put a hook and eye latch on my door so that you couldn't bust
Sorry.
in the middle of the
You
night.
would scare everybody else.
Well, so I remember people telling me about it. I don't remember doing that at all.
Well, you
Which I
didn't
don't
have
think-
them
yeah,
before that
yeah.
room, and you didn't have them
Which
after
I think
that
is
room.
the hallmark of something like this. You don't realize you're doing it. You're asleep. That's nuts.
That is nuts.
And how do you know that like they stopped and started when we moved in and out of that room? Like, is this just like, this is what you guys remember?
Well, I mean, we have talked about it and like documented it over the years. So things that I don't specifically remember now, like I can look back at stuff we wrote. Or
Mhm.
whatever. And
Anyone else staying in that room didn't have any?
No. And I can
Not any
also
of that stuff.
weigh in here on night terrors. Violet had them for a while. My daughter had them for a while, and she never moved out of bed. She never got up. I know they're different for everyone, but she did not run screaming down the hallway and pounding on doors or anything like that.
Yeah, no, that's,
Night terrors are weird.
they are weird.
Yeah.
No,
Like, what are you terrified of?
I don't know. Henry. Herbert.
Herber. All right, but as we go along, I think this gets scarier and scarier.
That was the room with the balcony door.
Yes.
So, Beth, you can weigh in on this next part, but I will just bring it up. When Beth had the room at the top of the stairs, she would have a reoccurring nightmare. Do you have the description written?
I do.
I wrote this on my webpage back, Angel Fire 2001, which was only, like 7 years after you had moved.
Yeah.
So we had been talking about it since then.
You're going to link that in the notes, right?
Oh, no. No.
Yes.
God, no.
Yeah, well, you can't tell people that this. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
You got to
gosh.
see it.
I'm hiding
This
it
is
in my
so
references.
this is so spooky though. Listen to this.
Okay, I'm all ears.
All right. So there was actually some stuff in here that I didn't remember, like some details that I didn't remember. So
I'm glad I wrote this back in 2001.
yeah. So when I was about 13, I had this recurring dream where I was lying in my bed and the room was dim and there were several people sitting or standing around the bed looking at me. And one woman was sitting down and crying. She had a long dress on and an apron, and there was a man standing behind her with his hand on her shoulder. I couldn't move at all. It was like they were watching me on my deathbed or something. And then at the end of the dream, I'd always look toward the door that led out onto the roof, and I'd see a red glow just outside the window in the door, and then I'd wake up.
That was the balcony door.
I just got these crazy goosebumps.
Wait though.
I had these dreams when I was 13. I had the room at the top of the stairs. That's where our great uncle Paul died when he was 14.
And he died of what?
Rheumatic fever.
Can you imagine that they were probably all standing around his bedside watching him as he was dying?
Isn't that fucked up?
Yeah,
That
I
is
have these
insane.
goosebumps, dude. And
That's
what
like
was the
this-
red? Was the red light like?
I don't know. That's like the creepiest thing that's ever happened to me.
You
Reoccurring.
do you remember this?
Yeah.
Or do you just remember it from
I can picture it in my head right now.
just the one time?
She
No,
did
it
not.
was several times.
She did not find out though till after she had been having them that this is the room where Uncle
I
Paul
think I
died.
mentioned it to Mom or something.
And she
she's
told
like,
her that.
What's
Yeah.
interesting? So you had mentioned, I still occasionally have sleep paralysis,
Really?
which like you described, where your eyes are open, you can see, you can think, you're awake, but your body is still asleep.
Mhm.
I don't know if either of you have experienced
No.
this. It's terrifying, and your mind starts to play tricks on you because you're half asleep, and you start to like think. Usually for me, there's someone standing just outside my periphery, and I can't
Ew.
turn my head.
Ew.
And it's a terrifying feeling. And if there's anyone listening that has had sleep paralysis before, they know this. And I don't know if maybe this is a side effect of all the crap I had from when I was a kid, but maybe I was seeing the same thing. And I was just so young.
Maybe.
I didn't know how to articulate what I was seeing.
Funny you should mention that because I also have a story about that room.
You too?
Listen,
This room's fucked.
It's along the same lines where you're saying you don't know for sure, but there might be something there. I had my first sleepover with Beth when I was about 5 or 6. And I remember us getting fast food for dinner. I don't know where it was, but I remember the toy that I got. It was a little sky blue transformer toy that turned into a pencil sharpener. It was sky blue with purple details, and I've looked it up on Google and found it before.
Oh, yeah?
I woke up in the middle of the night crying, and your dad had to take me home because we lived in Garfield Heights at the time. So just, streets over, basically. Who knows? I mean, it was my first sleepover. I was a little kid, probably just scared to be away from home. But come to find out later, Beth's bedroom at the time where we were sleeping was the room at the top of the stairs. So could something have happened and scared me when I was little that I just did not know how to vocalize or
How old were
understand?
you?
5 or 6.
You know what I bet?
Same age as me when I was in
I bet you were afraid of my booger wall.
What? You had a
Booger
booger wall in there?
Yeah,
Mhm.
What?
Oh my
Yep.
God.
When I...
Are you sure you want to admit this to everyone?
Yeah.
This episode's supposed to be spooky, not gross.
Yeah, well,
No, I said we were going to talk about gross stuff.
All
and
right,
got
let's
some
hear
more-
it.
bodily functions.
Yeah, I have autism and ADHD. I overshare. That's my thing. So yeah, I remember having a booger wall. My bed was right next to the wall, and I would just pick my nose and wipe it on the wall. And
Oh
then
my God.
I think my kids
For
must have
some
got
reason-
that from you.
Oh.
for
somehow.
some reason, I thought nobody knew it was.
This is my
it was
secret
so
booger wall.
obvious.
It was Herbert. Who? What? Who?
This is Henry Herbert's
Herbert.
boogers.
Yeah, he's like, yes, my ancestor.
Uncle Paul.
somebody better call Violet Bauer, come clean it up. No, I had to clean it up. I remember my parents telling me, like, you did this, you have to clean it up.
Why would you admit that?
I know.
It was so long ago that
You still do that?
No.
I'm gonna go check your house for your booger wall.
This tucked away
You'll
somewhere.
never find it.
You think you're gonna get there first and clean it up? No, stay here. I'm going. Okay, there's one final story from that bedroom, and it is the scariest one to me.
Okay.
It gets scarier than Beth's.
Who does this involve?
This involves Amy.
And this
She
hits
did not-
everybody.
Yes, I told you.
And
Everyone.
probably not. So we do have a younger brother who at the time was very young.
He was a toddler when we moved.
Yeah, so if anything happened to him,
I
I
mean,
guess we
there's that
wouldn't
story
really-
about you guys not sleeping only in that bedroom. So
That's
that's what we
crazy.
got. Because he
Yeah.
couldn't vocalize anything.
yeah,
else.
All right, well, let's hear
This one, Amy did not tell us until years later.
it. So Amy is our sibling between us. So she's
Yes.
older than me, younger than Beth.
I do not know why she didn't tell us this sooner because, oh gosh, it's so creepy to me. When Amy had the bedroom at the top of the stairs, she would be laying in bed trying to go to sleep, and she would hear whispering. She would not be able to discern any of the words they were saying, but it was loud enough that she would hear it. And she would get so scared that she would leave her bed and go down the steps and sit on the landing because your parents would be downstairs, like watching TV in the living room or whatever. And she would sit there on the landing by herself until she felt safe enough to go back upstairs and go to bed. That's crazy.
And this was a reoccurring thing? This
Yes.
was-
Yeah.
Why do I think that she also said she heard someone say her name at some point?
I'm not sure. I don't have that written, but I did have her hearing whispering, loud whispering.
So it very well may have been the same. It might have been, I was hearing that. You heard that.
Right?
Amy heard. It might
The
have
people
been.
standing around the bed.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's, I got goosebumps.
I know.
Boy, that is weird. And Amy doesn't strike me as the type to believe in this stuff.
No.
To be honest with you, she's,
That's maybe why it freaks me out so
and
much.
for her to, have you spoken to her recently about this?
No.
And where did you, did she told you guys about it? Or?
Yeah.
And how old was she at the time?
Oh gosh. I don't know. It was on my website, wasn't it? Yeah.
What do you mean? How old was she?
while
When it happened?
Well, she was being whispered to by Herbert or Herbert or whoever was whispering.
Well, so I was 12 when we left there, so she was probably like 8, 9.
Man. All kind of in that pocket of we were all hearing that stuff.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Now, how are you feeling about the fact that we said you lived in a haunted house? Do you believe
I'm-
us?
So you asked me in the opening episode, you're like, do you believe in ghosts? And I was like, no. But there's a part of me here that's like, I don't believe in ghosts, but there's how many separate accounts? 4 separate accounts that are describing something going on in there that was scaring us all separately as children. I don't know.
I mean, that's why we moved bedrooms so often, because nobody wanted to be in there.
Oh, it's probably because there was a carbon monoxide leak and they were all going nuts. That's right.
I also remember coming to your house and just being afraid of the upstairs hallway, period. It was dark. There was no windows in there. It was just,
I
don't know.
remember, I feel like that room, it went up into the attic because that was our parents' room.
Yeah.
I remember
Eventually, yeah.
the ceiling being shaped weird,
Yeah.
probably because of the roof,
Mhm.
like the eaves and stuff. That room gave me the creeps.
Yeah. Well,
And that's, I mentioned the rocking chair earlier. Something with a
that's
rocking
coming.
chair seemed spooky to me. And I thought it was in that room, but it doesn't sound like it was.
No, but they like redid the attic, like finished it
Mm.
at some point before we moved. I don't remember when, but that's when they moved up there
Remember the walls were
into that
blue?
room. I think so. Originally,
It's crazy,
it
I
was
remember that.
unfinished and it was like packed with a bunch of old stuff. Like, I think I remember somebody saying they found one of those pictures of the dead babies.
Oh, a morning picture?
Yeah, I think I remember my mom telling
Wow.
me that they found one. But it had been our mom's bedroom when she was a teenager.
Wow.
And so there were posters on the wall still from when she had that room. And that's one of the reasons why I'm afraid of horses, because there was a poster of a big white carousel horse on the ceiling. And it was making this terrible face.
I
You remember?
Holy crap.
It was like,
I remember this.
Oh, I
We
wish
should all
everyone
see
could
that.
see that face.
I can picture it. Yeah, we got to get a picture of that for the show
Oh my
notes. That
God.
face.
of this.
Yes.
Oh my God, I vaguely remember this. I remember a horse picture on the ceiling.
Oh my gosh. What I was going to say was I remember being in the bedroom all the way to the end of the hallway, but on the left, which we don't have any stories of, weirdly. But I think it was yours and Amy's bedroom for a while, both of you.
Yeah.
And you had those gold beds in there that we talked about. And you went downstairs for something and you were taking a long time. And I just got very scared being up there by myself. And when you came back upstairs, you didn't know where I went. And I was hiding in the closet. It was where all your stuffed animals were. So I was just like sitting on all these fluffy dogs and Care Bears and stuff.
Floppy dogs.
Yeah. There's nothing specific that scared me, but I just remember feeling so uneasy in that hallway.
Even just looking at the house now, because I working for that city, I would drive past the house constantly. I worked for a building less than a block away.
Right.
And I would like cut grass. We used to cut the grass, not at this building, but very close to it. And I would always glance up at it. And I don't know, now that like all these memories are coming back and I'm remembering how kind of scared I constantly was in that house.
Oh, that's sad.
like I mentioned the basement right away. That used to freak me out. The upstairs, for whatever reason, that attic room used to creep me out. Now that bedroom creeps me out, and like I understand. And like I'm happy that I'm hearing all of this now because this is very.
Was there anything else to share about that basement? Didn't you have something in your notes?
Actually, I did. So there are a few other stories about other rooms.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
lay them on me.
So the playroom, at one time, Uncle Ray and Aunt Emily, when they were married, they lived in the house. I think I don't know how they lived in the basement, but I guess they did.
Yeah, wasn't it always unfinished?
Yeah, I remember like studs and the concrete floor down there.
I remember a dirt floor.
Dirt floor.
Wasn't there the cellar part?
The fruit cellar had a dirt floor, yeah. But I guess they were living there. And
they were roughing it, probably.
Yeah, so the rest of the family went on vacation. They were there alone, and they heard a rocking chair rocking above them, which would have been in the playroom, which happens to be the room that was once our great-grandmother's favorite place to rock in her chair.
Ah!
Oh, my gosh.
And there was no rocking chair in there.
No.
Oh, it wasn't still there? I thought it was still there.
Oh, maybe it was.
Ooh.
I think you're right. I think it was still there.
Either way, no one else was home, so yeah, that was the rocking chair connection.
I remembered. It's weird that we didn't talk about this at all.
No.
And I was like, what do I remember that's creepy about this house? And I couldn't really come up with anything other than something about a rocking chair.
Does that sound familiar or not even? Maybe there's another story about a rocking chair.
Where did you compile these stories? Like, how do you know that story?
That your mom told you, didn't she?
You heard a lot of these from our parents?
Your mom told a lot of these.
What did our parents at the time give any credence to any of this?
I think your mom believed it, right?
Yeah.
Because when we grew up, like watching horror movies and all that, it was because your mom was interested in it. So we would talk about ghost stories and stuff.
Yeah. So speaking of the fruit cellar, this isn't really a haunting story. I just think it's funny that my parents told me that my older brother Igor lived in there.
Oh, that's what?
And I believed them. So I thought there was a scary like hunchback man living in that
I
room.
thought something actually happened.
No.
That's it?
No.
Aaron's disappointed.
Wait
There's
a
just some dude
minute.
named Igor used to live there. I don't remember
Did Igor
that.
have a booger wall?
I don't know.
Okay, then maybe I'm mixing up with the other.
Did Igor have a booger wall?
And then there's the garage. So,
This must be what I'm thinking of.
but there's not a ghost story about it. It's just something creepy that happened in there. So when Mom and her aunt and uncles were kids, some kid from the neighborhood tried to kill himself in the garage.
I didn't know
I
this.
don't know why he went to their house. I don't know why he wanted to do it. But anyway, he scratched, there was like a window in the back of the garage originally, and he scratched, I didn't mean to do it, into the window as like a
Suicide note?
A suicide note.
Like he had done something he was ashamed of?
I don't know.
Or is he
Well,
referring
that
to
he
the
didn't
suicide?
mean to kill himself. I don't know. But I think he cut his wrists or something. It was something like that.
He
'cause
didn't actually die, though, did he?
No, he didn't die.
Okay.
I think maybe my grandpa found him or my uncles. I don't know. Before he
That
bled
is
out
super
or
creepy.
anything.
Even that alone, that story would make your old house super creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, ultimately he lived, but they took the window pane out, obviously.
And there was a
and
board of
boarded it up.
wood.
Do you remember that in the back of the garage there was like a boarded up window?
I
No.
feel like I do.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it would have been like, there was that dog pen back there where Grandma and Grandpa's dogs would stay when they came up. Yeah, it like was out the back of the garage, like looking out there.
No.
That's so
I kind of want to
creepy.
sneak back there and see if it's still.
I know.
boarded
I
up.
want to go up to their door so bad and ask them if anything creepy happens there. I thought of sending a letter, but I'm sure they won't write back.
Shoot your shot, man.
really
there's
wanna
only one way to find out. If they don't answer, they don't answer.
So then you wanted to share some things that our neighbor told us.
Well, I don't remember much about this because I didn't write this down. I just remember that I think it must have been when you got your license and we would just go back and visit people that we knew because we had nothing else to do. Like, oh, you can drive. We can go to Bunny's house. Like, we just showed up at our grandma Bunny's house one day and it caught her off guard, and she let us in and we all sat down at the kitchen table and she said, so how are your love lives? And we just all cracked up because
None of us knew what to talk
she
about.
did not want to know about our love lives.
I remember asking her, how's yours?
Yeah, and she laughed so hard her teeth almost fell out. So I'm thinking it must have been like that. We just decided, let's go visit Debbie. Even though you guys were not close to your neighbors, I do remember her being nice.
Yeah, I mean, our mom would go like smoke in her backyard with her all the time at that picnic table. They'd be
Okay.
out there for hours.
So I don't know how I remember her, but we went to visit her and we told her these stories about your house. And she said, that's weird because I'm pretty sure my house is haunted too.
Oh,
And that's what I don't remember is anything specific. But hearing that your family owned all of that land, including where her house was, makes me really wonder
yeah.
if it's the land.
And that house that she lived in was the first one built, apparently.
I thought the middle one was, and then it went left and right.
Nope. It was
Okay.
her house in 21, our house in
Gotcha.
22, and then the other one in 23.
So you hear stories about like land that is haunted, old Indian burial site, or there was a graveyard here, or just something terrible happened there.
Yeah.
That's strange to me.
Because there's still a big question mark next to this Violet woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who knows? She just kind of appeared out of nowhere.
Hmm.
Yeah, nobody
So
ever mentioned her.
Her parents could have perished on the land and someone had to take, I don't know.
Well,
Like-
I also think it's weird that your mom saw a female apparition in her childhood bedroom.
Yeah. I wonder how Violet Bauer's booger wall was looking. She probably had a
She
mean
was
one.
probably pissed at me.
So I think
Yeah, she the ghost. Look what they did to my house. It's so dirty. There's boogers.
Sorry, you made me have a coughing fit. I think that wraps up everything that we had about the
For-
Granger House.
Well, I have some final thoughts.
Well, give them.
So, our grandma inherited the house and she lived there through the 1970s. Our parents bought the house from our grandparents when they got married, and then it was sold outside the family in 1994. So, that's how long it was in the family, 22 through 94. At the time, I wanted to move because it was exciting, but now I wish that we'd stayed longer or I appreciated it more. Oh, the picture of us
Here's
on
a
moving day.
picture of Beth and I sitting outside the house on moving day.
Oh, yeah.
We truly were sad about leaving that house, though.
Yeah.
We were.
I looked up the listing. It's sold several times since we left.
Which we always would joke, like when we would see the sold sign or the for sale
Yeah.
sign up again, like it's haunted still. They can't stay there. They're selling it again.
Yeah. Joe was talking about buying it, our other brother,
What?
because when he was looking for a house, he was joking that he was going to buy that house. But I think at the time it wasn't for sale.
We joked about like going to an open house when it was for sale,
Yeah.
just to be able to walk around in there again and see it.
Yeah.
And we used to always joke that we were going to buy it together
Yeah.
and live there with our families, all of us together.
Yep. So I looked at the last listing and I was looking to see, like, I couldn't really tell what most of the rooms were because they had changed. Like, I recognized the living room and the dining room and the kitchen, obviously.
Was the
But
playroom still there?
well, I don't know. I probably saw a picture of it and I didn't recognize it. But I heard that they knocked a few walls out, like the
Oh.
people who bought it from us.
That makes me sad.
I know. Well, that's like the reason why I thought maybe I didn't want to go there because I didn't want to see what was different. But I don't know. And they changed the wallpaper in the kitchen. How dare they? Do you remember what it looked like?
I don't think so. What was
It
it?
was super flower power, orange and yellow
I was
daisies.
just going to say, I remember
No,
yellow.
It was
I
like
remember
tiny
yellow.
little. Yeah. I mean, I would still do anything to get inside that house again. I have dreams about it all the time.
I do too.
Do we have any, like, of that room? Do we have any pictures of the inside that we could show?
Well, I was
like that
hoping you
room?
would find some that we could post on Instagram when we post this.
I don't remember any pictures inside that room.
I was just curious because that seems to be centered around that room. It would be cool to have like.
No, I
A picture.
remember coming across a picture of like you guys laying on that window
Yeah.
seat, but no.
I have one picture of the bedroom, the great grandpa bedroom, but it's of
Your booger wall.
of our dog Skippy laying on my bed.
Booger wall.
I think I had a salt and pepper poster on the wall or something.
For
at the
some
time.
reason, I always think of that room and Smashing Pumpkins. I don't know if you like had them on when I came over or
Probably.
I don't know.
Because
something-
I had that
something about
I had that
and Smashing
room
Pumpkins.
like around that age, 11, 12, when we were getting into 90s alternative.
Yes. So I think there's a pretty good case for this being haunted, though.
I feel it's weird. I feel like bad for not remembering this, but I'm
couldn't.
glad. Yeah, I'm glad that I have heard it. And do I believe in ghosts? No. Do I believe? I don't know. It's not so black and white,
Mhm.
right? Like, I'm not against the idea of them. I'm not like, oh, ghosts don't exist. It's stupid. It's blasphemous or something. I don't have any evidence to the contrary. This is certainly something, where a whole group of people separately from the same family have experienced these things. And it's not just like, oh, over here in the house, over here in the house, over here. It seems to be focused on that one room.
Where someone died.
Yeah. And now I'm kind of creeped out. And I was getting goosebumps throughout a lot of that because I think subconsciously you were bringing this stuff back up for me.
So you don't have night terrors, you just have
No, sleep paralysis. Yeah, it's not uncommon. It just sucks. Like
Yeah.
I think scientifically what's going on is when you go to sleep, your body starts to turn everything off. Basically, It's like we're turning off your arms, we're turning off your legs so you don't flail around. And then your brain turns off and you go to sleep. But what can happen is your brain comes back online when the rest of your body's not. And it's hard to tell if you're awake or dreaming, but your eyes are open. You can usually move your eyes, and that's about it. And you have to fight to move. And also through all of this, you have an impending sense of dread. Like there's someone just on the edge of your periphery. Or I've also heard people saying my name.
Ew.
I've heard people talking, and you can hear it's coming from one side or the other, but you can't turn your head and look. And you can't check. And you're forced to either fall back asleep while terrified, or you just wait it out and you can eventually move and your body wakes up and it kind of goes away and it just melts away to where you kind of doubt that you were even experiencing that in the first place. But it's definitely a thing. It happens to me occasionally, and it's pretty freaky. And I wonder if maybe it's tied to some of this stuff, but for whatever reason, it seemed to hit me pretty hard as a little guy to where I was sounding the alarm and banging on everybody's doors.
They had to lock you out.
Yeah, my family had to lock me out. I was so.
Oh my
That's how
gosh.
they knew that you weren't just sleepwalking because nobody could wake you up.
Yeah. And I think that's a thing with sleepwalkers. You don't want to screw
Well,
with them too much.
When Violet first started having night terrors, I thought she was just being bad because her eyes were open and she's screaming, and I'm telling her stop, and she's just screaming, no, no. And I thought she was just being a bad kid, but I couldn't wake her up.
Creepy.
So that's the Granger House, y'all.
Creepy.
Thanks for tuning in to Got the Morbs. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
And now we would like to leave you with a quote from the list. A list of things that Beth and I started of everything funny ever. He's trying to drown himself in the bowl that is his haircut. Bye.
Burn.